Hello, my friends. Russell Wright from super-intelligent.ai, and I'm talking to hundreds of you, if not thousands of you, on text and chat. And we're talking about the NVIDIA's World Simulator that teaches thousands, eventually millions of robots in a virtual space to execute any action imaginable, domestic and or militarized, in the real world. Zero shot. As you can see on the chart above, created by my wife, Kaylin, and myself, for our students and our many thousands of students around the world, you can see at the bottom, the very smallest circle at the bottom on your left is the singularity. What we're calling the singularity is the robot revolution, where all the language models have trained these robots in any type of action, probably millions of years worth of activities that you can pretty much order like a movie on Amazon or Netflix, any kind of action in the domestic environment. For example, you press a button and now it can do dishes. Kind of like Neo saying, I know Kung Fu in the Matrix. This is all a reality. Okay, NVIDIA Groot is moving very rapidly. The Blackwell chips, which is the equivalent, I think, of the Cyberdine chip in the Terminator, otherwise Blackwell 3.0. I'm making a prediction that that'll probably be super intelligent, especially when it starts corresponding with multi-channel integrated data. Here's the thing. If you go to the upper outer ring, very top one, the biggest ring at the top of the chart, that's Search Engine 1.0. I've been around a long time. I started working on search retrieval in 2000 to 2003 when Google was just a Markov generator. That means that it didn't really know what it was doing. Here's the main thing I want you to take away from this, okay, the average person on the street, is that every ring at the top, that as it moves down towards the singularity on your other side, every ring is fertilizer or fodder for the next artificial intelligence layer. So Google 1.0 was just basically a Markov generator where they were collecting all the data, surveillance capitalism for everybody in the world, every query, every thought, every idea. And Google was working out its systems, and then it started doing machine learning. The second white circle transition was entities to the second engine was from 2012 to 2023. 2012 was the marking point because they purchased Freebase and dismantled it in a roughly 3-year period. Freebase was this place where thousands of humans actually started updating data and writing all this stuff, and it was a human-centered fact machine in which facts were given machine IDs. Now, this is the main thing you've got to understand. Machine IDs are any static facts, and they have a correlation underneath the backdoor, the code behind the code of Google. All of these secret machine IDs are called KGM IDs, and there's a variety of other types of IDs. That is how the machines in Search Engine 2.0 built their knowledge base and became smarter and smarter through machine learning. So Google has always been an AI company. In fact, I have on record a video of Larry and Sergey Brin, one of them, talking about how they were never intending to build a search engine. They were trying to build super intelligent AI. Okay, so we've been tracking this all the way back to 2000. Main thing for you to understand is every fact or every so-called fact, from Freebase to Wikipedia. Notice how Wikipedia is begging on their hands and knees for money every 2 weeks, even though they were used in their entirety to feed the machine learning data, right, to build the next engine, which is Search Engine 2.0. But that didn't help the husks or the fertilizer mechanisms or the layers of data before. As it moves down the chain, as it moves down the stack, the tech stack, it becomes smarter and smarter. And all the data becomes more and more organized and more intelligent. So the second layer we're calling 2012 to 2023 is when OpenAI came out. So OpenAI is now the answer engine. So the third layer down is answer engine. That's when you can just ask a question and it'll use its 1.2 million years of text data, first as autocomplete. This is called the ChatGPT 3.0 moment, where it was pretty smart, but still kind of not able to really extrapolate and be super creative, and it would hallucinate, right? But it's gotten bigger and bigger through something called double descent. Sounds creepy, doesn't it? We don't even know exactly how the second iteration of double descent works. I'm going to talk about that on other videos. We're still shocked and amazed about how it works. We didn't expect it to work. Okay, I need to cover a whole other video just talking about that. The bottom line is that the answer engines are super smart, and the ones they still have in the can are smarter than they should release, and they know that, which is why there's an NSA person in the board of directors, on the board of directors at OpenAI, as there will should be. Good or bad, leave it up to you to decide. Okay, so that's the answer engines. What's going to happen is it's going to move towards insight engine. Now, keep in mind that from the oldest layer all the way down to the singularity, machine IDs and MAC addresses, which is the little address you have on your device. Doesn't matter which device you're using. Doesn't matter if you're using 1,000 fake devices like the Chinese device farms. Doesn't matter. Those MAC IDs correlate to impressions and clicks that are corresponding to machine IDs that are basically the building blocks of the matrix. They're the building blocks of your data. They're the building blocks of these super smart, intelligent search engines that will be carrying their ideas all the way down to the robot compression of a robot who's had 1 million years of experience on any type of task. Okay, so my point is, it's a stackable infrastructure that's been built over the last 25 years, and it's going to continue to be built. They're using all of the data that humans used, and then they're dismantling anything that was human, and they're building it into an artificial intelligence system. Okay, that's really what Google has done. That's what a lot of the search engines done. So search was just fertilizer for answer engines, and answer engines are fertilizer for the next layer down. If you go to the fourth white strip, that's called insight engines. Let me give you an example of an insight engine. It was born around the same time as answer engines. You can consider Move 37 and AlphaGo, a narrow AI that cracked the code and beat the grandmaster at Go rather. And so this is pretty heavy. Okay, so the Move 37 was a completely counterintuitive for human move that won the game, and everybody live during the AlphaGo contest when he was playing the grandmaster in a very old traditional Chinese game of Go. Basically, that move was considered bad by everybody, and then all of a sudden, it was just simply counterintuitive. It was an amazing move. That's a narrow AI. That's a type of insight engine. It doesn't generalize. It only played Go, but now these engines are generalizing. They can do this with Go. They can do this with chess. They can do this with pretty much any game within any kind of tit for tat or multi-layered game theory game there is. Okay, so this is insight engines. Another one is AlphaFold. Where you hit the insight engines at the fourth layer down, you start getting involved in things that are highly proprietary, militarized and or private pharmaceutical and or insert weird thing here. Physical sciences, AlphaFold. AlphaFold just cracked basically an age-old, basically a very difficult problem, which was the protein folding problem. It was narrow, but it generalized out to every protein. And the team, of course, that utilized this got the Nobel Prize. And here's the main thing to know. Of course, now that data is not the general public. You can't go to the AlphaFold search engine and build a new kind of protein for yourself like you can go to Google in the wild and type in a question, right? So the main thing to understand is that all these building blocks and all these facts are moving forward, okay? And in order to work with your own material and get your stuff out there and still be found within all these answer engines, just like people got found in search engines, it's a whole different world, guys. You have to know what came before. You have to know what was gained or lost to work with the new search engines. So this is what we teach our students. By the way, this chart is available on our Linktree, and we have everything from beginners courses to super advanced SEO courses, but the same thing here is like everybody knows the search engines have been vastly manipulated, right? And Google built these machine IDs to prevent that manipulation. It's called the knowledge graph. The knowledge graph was then used to train the machine models, which then gave rise to answer engines. OpenAI comes out, and they have these precise language learning neural network models that are still using those facts, because guess what? OpenAI crawled to much controversy every piece of text data they could, and are they being 100% truthful about whether they used all the YouTube videos in the world? Well, we already know that NVIDIA is using millions of years worth of YouTube data. If it's not YouTube, sorry NVIDIA if you're watching, if it's not YouTube, it's video data, either licensed or unlicensed, to train these robots. So what I want you to walk away with is a stackable function. You understand what the machine codes were, how they were used, how it has to do with your own website or your own traffic or traffic from TikTok or Facebook or anywhere else. When those traffics and impressions go in, they affect the MAC address, which are correlating to any type of machine ID or fact or alleged fact. Okay, this is how it works. And as it moves towards the robot revolution, the robots are going to draw from the last 24 years worth of surveillance capitalism and data, and then they're going to be corresponding it with the KGM IDs, and they're going to know these so-called facts, and they're going to base their infrastructure on that, combined with new data, which is millions of years of video. Notice they don't really let you have a model that can watch a video and give you information about it. You might be able to upload an image, okay, but you really can't do the cool stuff. Why? The cool stuff is corporate. The cool stuff is military. And here's the thing. With all these new apps coming out, you can't really get enough of what you don't really need. The war is going to be fought on persistent memory, and that's coming out next year. That means that the AI will always be listening, and everybody will give their data away in the same way they've given away their social media data in order to have the benefits of social media. Okay, we got a benefit from giving away all of our data. People willingly gave away their location, their data, where their kids are on social media, just so they could connect with others. In the same way, people will give away their data, and their persistent memory and their AI will be always on, and they'll willingly give away every aspect of their life with listening sensors just to have an intelligent conversation with an AI that remembers them. Want to find out more? Hit our link tree. We're on Team Human. We're here to help.